beautiful part in say in everything's company. De Bruyne company Bejawako, David Silva Bejawako. De Bruyne will win with a new set of players, including Bernardo Silva, Sergio Aguero. Omo Bejawako, Bernardo Silva, that's all. Now there is Erling Haaland to replace Wanya. So the various faces now Pep the team names Kakra. He played a central role in there. But Oyenipa, Anna, when you run the race, the moment you start it, you have to finish it. On Man City afebo. Until De Bruyne and in the state of womb, say and the paye the player we whom come on Pep and he is somebody I need and somebody the team trust and rely on. No, so enemy Jaima club and any player and there's an open Emre. And also, he is a semblance and I say a symbol of Man City's end of an era. So De Bruyne is in the trust no Jai City. He will no longer be a significant factor of Adia de success Bebro Modia. That is the best demonstration. Say, dear Pep Mbobe share ni na no a just almost sounds so sharp, and it will begin without Kevin De Bruyne. He has come, he served well, he's conquered it all. And the free league Nimua, he lives as one of the best hybrid players. We know Timibo as a winger, Timibo as a midfielder. But the primary thing he does and does best is his ability to find a teammate with a pass or a cross. He is pinpoint or precise with that. Obien who nim yesen or league nim sisi. But Oyenipa na who den weni. He's losing it. Losing it the forces that culminated to De Bruyne becoming that dominant threat no. And then who be a pride in Hubejim. And that is the story. So sanity about the two. Maybe the most similar way of being a Pep with Messi, Pep with De Bruyne is a beautiful story to tell for another day. Now we're at Strasbourg, almost story in any way. Yeah. Strasbourg is an interesting club. A very interesting club. So the video need to be on. You will see say omo we need that omo dressing room or a form honor. You will see so much isi say le menal. Said this is the menal. Honor mobile any. Isi say le menal. Na a mature racing club Strasbourg Alsace. Now, club way in Casano. Typically in Kenya a French club. Strasbourg, so mobile France league. Yeah. Kenya French club is a German club. Yeah. Strasbourg is a German club. Yantidine says Strasbourg. They had to change the name. Now, football club Neudorf. Sani they take club no. Strasbourg baby a one a an Alsatian a region. Omo ben Germany since omo ben Paris. Omo German border na. Peten kebi anka Ghana aplau any Togo. Aplau ben Togo sin Accra. Sana we in it here. And the club has changed nationality 3 times.
Strasbourg.
Yes. And the football club Neudorf, no. It was during then the time where the German Empire was taking or gaining grounds. Not administratively, any territorial wise. Yencheche France muti said you know. So it belonged to the German Empire. Then after the First World War, and then your mom it will revert to the French club. And then the best is in Strasbourg. Then in the middle of World War II, when the Third Reich annexed the Strasbourg region again, Alzi a Racing Sport Club, to say the Racing Ball Club Leipzig, no. Yes, a son from Racing the Club Strasbourg, no, a Racing Sports Club Strasbourg. Into Munye, social screen as well. They made the orange line, no, a Strasbourg, and the French League, where a German Cup. 1941-1942, okay. When the World War II was still in process and the German forces had then invaded that region. No magic club not too many. In fact, there were 2 clubs then in Strasbourg. Or SGSS Strasbourg. ana RSC Strasbourg and then a normal French league in him. Who should be Brazil or the last two clubs away teams no? Who Rapid Vienna, Fierce Vienna, or free Austria. So during the World War II, Adolf Hitler and Corfu, they conquered, and everywhere they conquered, making sure some German presence now felt. And Strasbourg is part because of baby Omo. So on the map in the why you will see, say are closer to Germany, Switzerland than they are closer to Paris. And to Strasbourg, near and down Omo ben Luxembourg, Omo ben Germany. Then there is Switzerland also close by. Baby Paris. They are a beautiful club with a rich history. Minyesho say club that we are saying was the nationality 3 times. But with Strasbourg you have it. Then they belong to an established company as well. Once again, I were the big 6. Omo na yesi omo Boaji Independence. Ube come nebi an story nente. But the engine is France is omo the big 6. 6 clubs to have won the 3 major domestic competitions. 1, the French League. 2, the French Cup. And 3, the French League Cup. And I'm trying to Coupe de la Ligue. And then the Coupe de France. And then the French Ligue 1. Strasbourg, Eka, Paris Saint-Germain, Monaco, Marseille, Olympique Lyon, Mabo Monaco, right? Saint-Etienne. Now the Strasbourg account. I'm not the big 6 in France. I'm not just training in Abi. But almost omutrase, call form. And they needed somebody or a company or a venture to pump money into it. Then came a year Clear Lake Foy, Beto Chelsea. Exactly. Then they started the project with them. Team, no, they have the youngest squad per average our league in him. They are dominated by 18 foreigners. Se Sharak the almost scores in a toswa. Me pese or de tos in who goal scorers no. Delani Kabwa, Andre Santos, Emmanuel Mega, and Samuel Amo Ameyano Mabubo Mudino. Omo will be who are already 23 years. Santos here 20 years. Delani Bakwa, 22. Emmanuel Emega of Nigerian origin, but from the Netherlands, over 22. Amami are 18 years. Omo Musa, age on the average, or in the soccer league in him. And so whatever thing that they are doing now, they are building a project where in the future, what's the culture say football clubs or more food chain? Eventually, when Emma the clear vision of Chelsea owners and acquire more fast 1 person or more ball, you fan diet, you make your more world beaters. They will win sporting wise, competitively, and then they will also fetch us money in terms of selling them on for transfer fees and then marketing purposes. And me assure say Emmanuel Emega every season no what mean 15 goals. He's gradually writing a story as one of the hottest prospects. And Cheney see team be kohono akofa. And then I hear stories say a Bishop Omoro Dion. Yeah. Red Devils never saw obetu ama home money anymore. And I want to hear story. Omo pro na so mo no unique name here there. Yeah.
Red Devils.
Omoro Dion so onye Bishop. And to kwotu ahom money na omudi Devils no. Enya. Papa Samu go kromo na wobeku. Samu by England. Ah!
Oboshe goes pa.
Obasaya gawa.
Agawa. So that is clearly what this Chelsea ownership no omo and Strasbourg are on the brink of qualifying for Europe again. In over 50 years has time to be corrected. If it does happen, it will be a beautiful story. And they are doing this with the 3rd youngest coach our league name, Liam Rosino. Then we will still Didier Degas, former French player. Degas is 38. On the RC Lons coach. On the youngest coach our league name.
Last season and I said,
all Rams anyway, exactly. Yeah. And 2 you will still Didier Degas, and then the next Liam Rosino. And these are young boys who are enjoying themselves because they are enjoying their football on the pitch. What your story be about Djokovic named Messi? Messi moved to America now. It is now making sense, and it's making sense for very good reasons. Messi as a footballer has nothing to prove again, just like Ronaldo. Omuni bibi approve bio. Born a no munye. They've done everything individually.
Yeah.
There is no mark these two haven't set. But again, football career no. You transition from a stage to another. So you grow from just becoming a footballer into a personality, an icon, or a brand. And when I'm messing Ronaldo Nedru, this guy, he moved to America. It wasn't purposely to play football. It was also to have a certain knock-on effect. So that actually, so that the career we are. So for your name to remain, you need to transition from just being an active athlete to a sporting icon. Messi is a sporting icon, but not a brand, you know. There were issues with it. And one market to really establish yourself and then grow, the American market. You were China, you were America, and Amebua. The BRICS near Brazil, Russia, China, India. Omo market ne so pa. But mostly when you're able to dominate the American market, you can break into the BRICS terrain. What you see? That is why Messi is tapping into it. Into America. So unim Stanley for no more flask. Omoye flask anyway. No. See a ball a year South America for they are all related to in terms of flask and a cup. And your Mateno. Good. So they've teamed up with
South America for
they've teamed up with Messi. No, my almost Stanley range of product. My I and the end go so GOAT.
Yeah.
The greatest of all time. And Messi logo no my no. And a dial. So sa M no.
The das Adidas me M because almost fan to say Adidas Air 3 lines.
Good.
So Messi letter M no more designing is
good. And Washa, this is going to be a brand that will stay. Jordan, you bought Jordan. Say you can Air Jordan near there. Only an icon. An icon that can never leave your mind. Seshara Gbeboya onya Jordan logo neto sumaya many better home. So to me Nyamaya, it will help this conversation. You see,
who you know say we Jordan.
And this is a body in the crotch. It just clicks a toward you. Pa na fa. Sana Messi M ne be CR7. Oh, and a day. It told you Jordan who we are. You know it's related to the Jordan brand. So Messi needed to grow his brand. And one market he decided to tap into, the American market. Again, to grow your brand, you need brand visibility. Messi is just a footballer. Yes. American almost saw soccer players. The American footballers, NFL, no? Ball, other sports like basketball, even golf to an extent. Almost saying almost soccer players. Inti Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Alexei Lalas Mono. Kita a major population in terms of following. To say the other sport athletes in here. Messi has broken that non-soccer hegemony in terms of athletes who reign in America in terms of more popularity. Since 1995, as it stands, Messi is the only soccer player to gain a certain level of popularity. So the charts need to swipe home. There be a new way. Mame, pro athletes, no, American pro athletes, the only kind of toast, no. This is it. So Americans' favorite pro athlete since 95 by quarter. Also, Michael Jordan has dominated from 95, 96, I didn't see 2006. Then Tiger Woods came in there, or a golfer. Then there was Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is American former pro footballer. Obo NFL nibi. Then Ubehu why Kobe Bryant basketball. In between Jordan has also a soldier bion. No a jai basketball nibo, but he permeated the market. Then Peyton Manning again. 2013, 2014, Jordan again will come for 3 periods. Then there's Peyton Manning. Then Steph Curry will shoot them because that time, no, the Golden State Warriors. In between, you will find LeBron James also with the Cleveland Cavaliers and what he was doing with them. Tom Brady, also from American football.
From quarterback.
Now check it. They are the black. I in the background. They are winding.
Messi.
No, apart from Messi, no other soccer player has become a favorite pro athlete for Americans since 1995.
So almost just say sports pool, 30 years of intelligence.
Exactly. This is the evidence on the screen. Again, there is a certain replication of the LA Galaxy here with Beckham. LA Galaxy signed Beckham right after the 2006 FIFA World Cup. Good. On my Beckham, the chart of growth, how the MLS was before Beckham and how the MLS grew after Beckham. No, just give me the Beckham one first. So the Beckham, you will see, say, before Beckham entered the league as a superstar, because that time we were joining Real Madrid, and Beckham was one of the first few athletes and now footballers are move right into superstardom. Move grow by a brand. So there is the Beckham way, So you could see that the margin of growth in terms of the US population who follow MLS, near 23.4% as of 2005. Then the Summer World Cup in Germany, USA baby, a shooting called 26.8. The knock-on effect was that in 2007, from January to June, when Beckham was announced, from 26.8%, a shooting called 29.1%. Then July, Beckham the Coebion 29.8%. That was when he made his debut. Now, watch it here. Beckham never broke the 30% barrier. Mami Messi Diano. Now, Americans who followed, na 33.7% as at the last World Cup in December 2022 or Qatar. January to May 2023, 35.3. When Messi was announced, so move to MLS, it should took 37%.
And when you say, graph not to us, or making a debut,
the margin of growth.
Once the stars no more now sound back stadium.
Exactly the point. Yeah. So there is a deliberate attempt. Yan to us to be one MLS clubs, Inter Miami there consume and so how are they able to gather a certain level of following? MLS clubs now, Inter Miami are one of our favorite clubs in the MLS. For Americans, more Miami and beyond, they refer to Inter Miami, so they love to wear their colors, all because of the Messi effect. Again, this is the evidence on the screen. Even if you go to America, Barcelona near, Manchester United near, Real Madrid near, why they close your gap Inter Miami? Not because they are the best club, but it's because Americans believe Inter Miami, every pro soccer club, because of the Messi alliance. Messi is growing a brand. And if he continues like this, per the research and the statistical data available, he will eventually successfully transition from just being a football icon into a global sporting brand. And and it will make more money than even the Maradona and Pele, and it will cement his status as the greatest of all time.
But I say, Mike, my member crusade that way na fee, crusade and so and funny them crusade.
Yes, Obani, my mention same fee, Hugo Ekitiki. Now, because a lot of clubs are now, showing interest, and Frankfurt for a quote a region of 80 million euros, and when they scout the bar, Omo Ebeji. Yes, he's a very talented footballer, but one thing is this season, so in terms of the Bundesliga, was 13 goals, but in all competitions, Wama 19 goals, creating about 6 assists. And it tells you in terms of the numbers there, or producing it this season. He's a boy who started from Reims and when your opportunity to call PSG. But at the time of call PSG, the kind of quality and the big boys are never PSG are never difficult, so be your opportunity. At the PSG team, and no nama or the movie or the bar. Frankfurt are an integral member of the Frankfurt team. I've learned about the French guys these days. As a France for almost England for no be. I'm hype you boys in the pa. Okay. Now, French boy be a peja, a dino kakraka. By recent times, boys now ya hype you baby benino or movie. Let's ask ourselves a taco saying. You who the hype of the man Tony Martial. When he was moving from Monaco, Edeba Manchester United, Oba with a big hype. We do baby. Even the contract United demand cry. No Ballon d'Or clause in now. So G Ballon d'Or add-ons ni be back home. But where is he now? And now even Ousmane Dembele. And yes, he's up there. Man for cracker say Ballon d'Or or a contender near there. But said your Dortmund. How anane modern money si fatia Barca tisika kese ekoto no. You must say what me live up to that hype no nya at the time. And the obvious answer is no. Barca investment a omo ye wo Ousmane Dembele mu no. Omo anya so mfaso. Enya ho performance no de odima omo no.
Kabubro.
E na odi free honum. Fa obi se Tanguy Ndombele at Olympique Lyonnais. He was one player do be near tipping say the next Michael Essien na wo pie diaba. The kind of baller na all ball. Tottenham in their history no mun 2 years ka kese for player sada. Over 60 million pounds no mo spend ko for Tanguy Ndombele. Ono so be nam Tottenham amfa edu baby waye kese. During the day COVID time and Jose Mourinho coachy team friend Tottenham space. Edu baby was boy ni lazy into COVID time ayama lockdown ko ni fie say on sorry ni enko training. Edni ko training ma ono susu ko nya fine e honum. A lot of French players are omu pia omo the hype kese pa na eba. And the clubs now money abre person omu go to Escandia, they need to be very careful. Because in recent times as a French for they say omu media no so are very vibrant in terms of hyping their players. They na ke England for na net ayesa. Omu boys ni babu say ya pejo omu dia kese ntu kotona. No spending big money obeba no. Na enkosa de etie no. And that's exactly what the French are doing now. In recent times, player abakase bia from Osha say the hype no what me live up to Kylian Mbappe. Apart from Kylian Mbappe no, none of the boys and abakase said the Osha say no. What they call. Even Paul Pogba said the Osha say with under 2013. Olidi France under 20 Montpellier World Youth Championship in Turkey. In Juventus 2015, Omo Barca in the final of the UEFA Champions League. No integral member of that method. But Ofri Obed PMO or Manchester United no. Edi ko ye ne popo way. French boys no ade baako as a trimude ade baako a ha omo in recent times. Their mentality. Talent alone enye enough. Because say talent alone enough nke betimi a lot of players omo sha ase no. Ebi wo honma there are players that be on Ronaldo ni Messi mo level om dia kwa kodri o sha ase ni bi a on kase no o mo talent no Messi mo dia bro om dia ne so. But with the talent no you need attitude so you need to be disciplined and commitment e ya de ba ko a o de kan game ne ho a e betimi am do that level. So yes, Hugo Ekitike, he has the talent, he's doing well entering Frankfurt. But clubs ni careful kakra, and Frankfurt na ankasa nso so no omo ta tonwa no aye careful because of how omo so enema bitie no omo de babia anya omo ta twabom hwe Lukajovic sha se say Lukajovic call Madrid kwani na mu a amfa intino ya na ya omo careful kakra. But 80 million for Hugo Ekitike there. It's on the higher side. They also prove it become home. Because just one season now, or they're proving on, so he needs more time. Osha Juventus, there's one thing that is happening. And Juve in recent times, Omatiaba form. After dominating the Serie A for 9 seasons, the both season we are no magic. After Calciopoli, you say Enyema and Koye and Farmo, Luigi Del Neri, Mobenina Munia, but Antonio Conte Baya. Obefa Juventus are no stabilizing Niema. Then he won the Scudetto no on 3 occasions at the Maomo and or the free war no the core Italian national team. Ekoye Juma. Then came Maximiliano Allegri. And Allegri so befa Juve also J2 so 5 times at the Maomo. And after say Allegri Ekono, that is where Juventus they lost the plot in terms of managerial appointments at Omoyeye. Because I share Juventus Ebiaka say unacquainted with history will forever remain a child. Tina say urefi ukrom hina benya oyira wa dwaba ase. So Juventus pa yes sir now coaches sometimes they are successful near defensive minded coaches. defensive minded coaches ne ba eya Juve enya success. Enti she said Antonio Conte di omo ye hwe Allegri. But right after Allegri na no e no omo kofa Chelsea former coach Maurizio Sarri e de ne buy. Omo move away from omo philosophy and identity no completely, because say Allegri eko na kofa Maurizio Sarri na ba. What it means is that Oba be change the identity of the team no completely, because omo mienu ekuta two different philosophies and omo de buy. Then ono so be ya anko ye na nom sa kofa Andre Ayew and so de ne buy. Omo ya after Andre Ayew nom sa call back to Allegri. After Allegri and omo kofa Thiago Motta after Thiago Motta and so buy ya amfa. Enti so hwe in terms of Juve, the omo suffer in recent times now. How and when they appoint managers and the kind of philosophies are more appointed, there's never been consistency. Because from a defensive minded coach, no an attacking minded coach aba. We na go back to a defensive minded coach be Allegri. Then this season we offer Thiago Motta, who's also an attacking minded coach. And now dinaba. And you look at the quality at the disposal of Team FA Juventus this time. And also so ade baako. Anytime biano Juve team baako, they will have solid defense.
Yeah, no, the BBC more time.
Exactly. But this time, who share omu team net that one? Ask yourself, say, in terms of their defense, who are the men? Our mama niema take edema Juve, because share obi Edze Bremer this season shas no. On night the main man ananka obetimi ejinetro as the organizer ediamo defense and the leader at the back, and also so unfortunately oko pry enti ama Juve omo lucky in terms of the men in defense ni nyina ka ho bi and ama niema emfa ama Juve no. So I'm looking at Igor Tudor say Oba for Juventus, and he's a former player. He understands the culture of the club wabo edwache, and yeah can the glorious days of Team FA Juventus are now hobby. Okaho during the days Akashopoli no ebaye, he's seen quality players and they've played quality football. But coming to Juventus at this time, and Enkoye now, in terms of winning the title, there over the because the point gap between Inter Milan and the quality of Inter 12 points between them. Their only battle now is to qualify for the UEFA Champions League, of which 2 points between Bologna and yet beyond them. But I got to know a dear now winning as a coach. Are you betting me trusting and say in this difficult moment no or you'll be betting me about left you the biggest achievement because say Otimi Buama Team FA no Udinese wa bra no more in the 2018 season and obefa no steady shape no mo anchor car league nim. But since then wakwa nenam Galatasaray kakra amfa wakwa Olympic Marseille kakra ozanso eba Udinese wa biem. And for Juventus at this time na say kwa coach, I believe that now omo the opportunity even Roberto Mancini no available. If they had gone for Roberto Mancini, he's an experienced man. Do this time you need somebody who will be that father figure obi awa winning be da. And this on only rat dressing room honoma say or can be chair boys now or inspire confidence, because boys who say this person is a winner, but not a coach or no so air struggle. And I know na Juve in recent times and your man confirm a woman omo efa Andre Ayew no afeko ano defending the thesis as a coach and omo de adwuma ne man no thinking that or a legend yemfa adwuma ne man no. Thiago Motta enya one good season with Bologna after so many years. Yes, we qualify omo e de omo akọ UEFA Champions League, but at least na omo hia say enkomo nhwe ne kakra omo man another time or dey be proving ho ansana odinako a big club like Juve. But omo erosion they were looking at examples of other teams to say the Alonso edema Bayer for Leverkusen, but mind you Bayer for Leverkusen pressure no enye bi na wo Juve. Alonso last season senka wa anje trophy a obi ankoma ne pressure say ade na Bayer for Leverkusen no one for man cup. Enti say wo ba bia pressure ne ye less a utimi relax implement ideas etimi kwa ye experiment bi but clubs to say Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona mono you need time for experiment and that has been the problem at Juve in recent times omu enya no this time I'm just hoping say this managerial appointment will be right e dia mo no manya ni ye so and e be hwe game again one game
okay madam say Crusader couple na bibia e okay dia
me adom fancy bibia boko pa
ti course no dia mama for that you send it to screen and the momo you send post here on your social media handles now so your mom greens ebeba every weekend because you pay greens e dia ya dia
no crepa mono so de green no so ze odi ama wa hoden ti be bia green ebebo ti na ebe so so you need come kakra local scene no near said nuama and so etiti e behwe MTN FA Cup no games e beba so na na afie be rem and so edin come after some Black Stars of Ghana your boy game our Accra Sports Stadium ewie no e say Accra Sports Stadium na activities be koso and I say enkoso and it's director general as you see ono ana boy juma I friend no era yaw ampofanka edin sem kakra to after see a game no against Chad and to so for now there Black Stars game no yabawie nemo omo ma activity bia nkoso e wo stadium mo e be review I said enuama e be si akona afi park no ma bo ho ban said e be ya Ghana e wo national assignment bia na straight ye betimi abo e wo Accra Sports Stadium nti nsema yaw ampofanka attitude ready e be kona afi ye di nkomo kakra na ya said ni MTN FA Cup games no enso ewonsem esi eti MTN FA Cup quarter final matches na Tram Divisa any Park Academy 3 p.m. na me adom and next Saturday and a game no enso baso anwumre ana yebenya bechem United and after Brekum Chelsea enso game no 7 p.m. under floodlights that game no enso baso na bechem for no wo mu ayade bi o ma post o mo striker IFN se Kofi Tompu ana omubusa Brekum Chelsea for say unim Kofi Tompu ana na sa branch we game all ball e wo league no na no hyepa wono e wo this season wa hye has ahye kotoko into mo ka che Brekum Chelsea munim Kofi Tompu ana omo de ne video no ato a omo chesa kwa we go our set here house of work no the latest goal a omo e de buy omo trust here say unim Kofi Tompu ana eno e de omo e de eba nti e hwe ni mu say nya nwumre game na nuama enso betimi akokama na afia to so e de afri ona assistant coach Evema Bechem United e set or say ono so on ahead of game no preparation saying and sit here e de ma Bechem team ono so e de nsem kakra to their team no ko ma fa so prepare omode eba anwumre
a good step in direction yeah person econo players ni are responding to training as at now and osha and say okra nkwana oni ha etomo makani dia omunyina ya fitter ombetimi abo so you hope omo responding to training you hope for the best on Saturday unim say
to the coach move bo under four lights na weather no be boa mo players no Ghanaian as no okay e de mamo anase nka wianum na mo pe eno so coach echiremu die ntia anwumre no e be boa
me dey say be a good weather e dey abo sa abo no say e bo na wiemu a in fact ya na everything but so obe ne den me nim die ntia say the Premier League games na e bo no kra ya na most of them no ye bo na wia na no everything nti ka ba floor light one day tem bia nka ebo na nyumra I think say boy so ye bo na nyumra ne de me de esama boys no because we benya good weather abobo no
timi aboa ama game no enso ayefeye powie na central defender Abdullahi Baba Moro ono ntu gina chirewa ne anya asem geto opo adwuma yi pa Evema Bechem team ono nso on performance this season our DRM our MTN FA Cup saying anu hu ne performance and ahead of the game ne saying anu si hu ne yenti Abdullahi Baba Moro.
Performance have been great. I keep improving game by game and week by week. Though it hasn't been easy, but it's about hard work and determination. So I see myself growing in the game every match and every week. Our defensive department often works so hard at training, and we have been very compact at training, working so hard all the time, making sure that we keep a lot of clean sheets in our league and in the FA Cup games. So we have always been optimistic to work very hard in every game to make sure that we don't concede, making sure that our department is always strong and solid. I've prepared so well, and knowing this.
Yes, him say na nwumre game no so ebetima akokama e de ama fa na no mienu nyame adomochena yebenya ala quarter final parents no ebi eno so e game ebekoso yebenya Karela any golden cake omo game no 3 p.m. eno beba so e baba Iraq Sports Stadium na afin so nyame adoma yebehwe se kotoko enso ni tio true democracy game no 7 p.m. enso baba Iraq Sports Stadium tichena enso 2 matches and ebekoso quarter final games eno ebetimi abaso coach edema Krobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum true democracy team no who is saying what study wo unim team ni and also what wo mo din na mum unya information about true democracy na din na mum kakra na wo manya na o ma study mo e di rem e wo game no.
We've had a lot of intel about them. That's what we are actually basing on. But then the fact that they've been able to get to where they are now, and we are going to play them, tells clearly that they are a very good side, because for a team to play up to the quarters of a competition, it's a clear indication that they have been doing certain things on and off the field very well. So we just have to make sure that we stay even more focused than we have been, because they will come in with a lot of determination, a lot of confidence. As I always see, every team that plays Kotoko is a motivation for the team. So the players would want to come and prove a point that they are also capable of playing for Kotoko or any of the big clubs in the country. So they want to prove.
What they are to coach, they say double no bebaso because already league na my Freddy kind you my con kind man Krobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko MTN FA Cup mode quarter final. Fans no expect to say bia mo betimi we need double.
We have 11 games to go, which is about 11 games is 33 points. We need to make sure that we work extremely hard to be able to accumulate more points from these 33 points that we have to fight for. We have to do everything possible in terms of our physical state, in terms of our technical and tactical state. Psychologically, we need to do everything right to be able to make sure that we keep our composure and we keep our focus. Once we are able to do that, I'm sure we'll be able to accumulate the points and then be a possible title contender. And the FA Cup too, I think, as I've already said.
Everyone says, "Omutimi na fi omuji ni nyina na omuji bia eno nso emu odu a ebetimi aboa ama title no omo nso etimi ahweso omo ensa betimi akan no eyensem kakodi to dwa on Albert Amo anso so and a return no saying na e boost club ni mora saying na as a coach who see ehu player no ba wa beka team no yentie
the technical staff, including the players, everybody is happy that he's back, because he was banging in the goals for us when we started the league. He was the tormentor in chief for us. He was our top marksman, and he was getting us the goals and he was creating the chances too. I still remember the goal he scored at Ediana, a simple tap-in. He just came from the blind side of the opponent and just tapped the ball into the net when Babayaya gave that cross pass. He's, in terms of his positional play, he's one of the best in the league as a center forward. And then in terms of his defensive responsibilities, he's very good. I mean, he's able to put pressure on opponents. He's a threat to
game no and you ma bitime come on coach. Lastly ono Ekasafa Benjamin Asari Hon said the only goalkeeper or no so approve Ghana your local scene say you betime nya local players ni bia mo ma didwuma e Black Stars in mama na yi and also Benjamin Asari obebo na baso ofri house de name mo de mo boy no wa she local league ni nyina animonyam name ye wo players wo other teams nso a coaches na say scouting no omomo mani nko clubs na ka media makotoko bichem bia omunra no many good players amomunso akobo Black Stars
as a coach. And again, I'm so excited that one of our own Benjamin Asari is there. I mean, he kept the 2 games, he kept 2 clean sheets. He's a very good goalkeeper. I mean, very, very good goalkeeper. He has that personality in goal. He puts some threat in opponents. He has good communication skills. And to me, in terms of his positional play in the goal, is very good. So I'm happy that he did not go there to just go and add up to the numbers. But then the management committee of the Black Stars and the technical staff saw the need for him to be in pool. And for me, I was not surprised, because if you look at the number of games he has kept and the number of clean sheets that he has kept, I mean, it was a clear indication. If you are using data, I mean, I think whoever met, whichever group of people met to decide that he has to be in goal, I think it was a good decision. So what
so quarter final games no obeso kuhebia VVIP no 100 Ghana cedis, VIP upper no 50 Ghana cedis, VIP lower 30 cedis, and afi VIP wings 20 Ghana cedis. Into also obeso MTN FA Cup ni be this weekend and next Saturday and watching away sika obitimeti obaba Yarak Sports Stadium na afi watching me accommodate into fancy nyame adoma ene 3 p.m. akopim ochina net 3 p.m. match or numerous 7 match or chance also 3 p.m. and a numerous match until we can know a very packed Baba Iraq Sports Stadium MTN FA Cup no ti yede si na bedafo abem.
Well, Mate Capo Medase, Meza Mumre Nafi, I am a man and Rapia Brennerson, so any Dr. Muzu, everything come out and I pay, and I will show no. So, Meza.
Yes, Fancy, all attention is going to be on the MTN FA Cup. Namea Duma this weekend.
And then watch
the Bibia Kwako in terms of the national teams. Yeah. League in the on hold for us to play the FA Cup every year. Then Niababe resume for midweek games, you know. Now, let me say first of all, as I would do the Halo Fancy. As I would do the Halo. Oh, Fancy. And come on, mate, actually, no, it's not so much pleasant for Ouattara. It's not so much pleasant for Ouattara. Fancy, nanke we chili kakra. Sanke bianke ye share by the end of the season. Ba ni mududo.
Ba ni mu say ye pamono anaya pamono.
The next game no could prove a point for Ouattara to be sacked by House of Folk.
No so nya de asana beba. Nya sana beba.
Fancy, but o check results na House of Folk nya na. Me no on a realistic grounds no, are we being that fair to Ouattara in terms of Nedjuma why or House of Folk? Any baby or da. Any kwan bi ye first why can ask man and penny for House of Folk can ask. Because in the meeting Adeba ko mu raise concern pie in the human relationship. Which is subsequently House of Folk penny for ni share bia na o come asem.
Say no bia na Juve
the question
dey Thiago Motta.
Thiago Motta. But in terms of the results no, Fancy ojina so pia. I say point that's the only point. Because o check on the league log ne baby a House of Folk da. Any the points gap between House of Folk and the other first now. Gap no so bebrebe no aka say House of Folk league no omuntimi pushing for more money mun be bibi. Under him now no, this is a team House of Folk to me we need too much to aso. Eto omre bi mo ko be 5 games na draw no win no mo share eto aso no mo bo draw do man ya de kra no mo bo draw.
So for now, 5 points.
5 points
between Omo
and Asante Kotoko. Say no 5 points no. No pamuni sisi aso na okofo before the neba. Not 5 points ni musu bie. Neko 7, neko 8. Because ono na sisi a oni team na training na che. He has been we yaman say Kromo ase ni coach so much cheche wo teams ni bi bebre no mo coach no. Ogumo ho. Ouattara so ate 2 years.
11 more matches to go.
11 more matches to go. But issue ni nyina gina player relationship no
na Babeka 10
na Babeka 10 but issue ni nyina gina players ni bi no ye quite fed up, but players ni bi ye quite fed up no so me to me say trimu dan na players ni bi so afa no so House of Folk na mo club bi e won ten baby, so you need to deliver. Your baby one why ade bi etimi kasa de we de coach na no me I know say Ouattara wapem e won nioma bi ho. Ouattara ne 4-1-4-1 no ana ne 4-1-2-3 ana ne 4-1-3-2 a obebo na bi ebeduru mebi na obebo Hamza ne Diego mu nyina wani mu ono say toroka no bi sisi ano a ana din so benya solution to it. I agree. But fancy, House of Folk also need to be very careful in assessing the whole situation and how they go about it. And yes, sir, someone face value ni nyina consider resource and consider some of the players' attitudes. Now, almost from Ouattara's point of view alone, they might regret in terms of sacking him in the middle of the season, bringing in someone else a bit makofa issue be brediaba.
It is has resource inconsistencies. Ouattara nkwana.
And no kwa. He is the main. He is a problem. They must say 100%. I mean, 70% besha Ouattara. But almost and yes, I could before so the neighbor. The same system, the same things will continue, and club and also bit my Ayew, and they will need to look at it very, very carefully. Now, Koroko Kamara, Koroko Frederick Kasari, I'm almost another goalkeeper. And common and in the money as a Frederick Kasari contract extension, they are hanging him. Fancy, a brand and I will be called as free. A brand, you know, I will be called as a free agent. Sure. Contract won't send so many players need decisions when it comes to extending it. Obia on the personal reasons as to the entity will take his decision. For Koroko, I personally think Frederick Kasari who knows say you know all things being equal. Senya Kamara red card no di it will swatra Kamara still remains Koroko number 1. What am I say? Because Kamara no enya is swatra incident ne see na. And also on prior match be and Kamara started as the main goalkeeper the Makoroko. This is a goalkeeper or rise through national team level where you are near friend or Black Stars. Near friend or Black Stars ni nyina mu no. Na so sa akoba na so onya bi na sa. E wo hana ni so akọ affecting kakra. He wants to get back into the Black Star setup. But he wanted to get into the Black Star setup. Me so me busa me a lot of questions say in your terrain ya ye wo mu yi wo Ghana ha yi. Fancy players ahodo say na mu ye goalkeeper say transport o mu call outside Ghana. Normally no munya akonya sabe remove to the national team.
Say goalkeeper no base
goalkeepers market na wo kromo ase do
transfer outside
goalkeepers market na wo kromo ase no mo kwai do say na new opportunity this abishim. But I think sometimes Abrante so be in the future what he wants to achieve fantasy kasemo maybe he might not necessarily be at the Black Stars being the main motive, but he also wants to explore, get his money and do a lot of things. But I think senko a goalkeeper ba kwa Koroko so nya bibi free ni muso a ke betimi abo apa mimi susu ye mu no sanka list ka club ni betimi very okay. Our Baba Sports Stadium, the decision to play some games before this one fancy me say about it because Park Nankasano it is not in a very good condition to accommodate a lot of matches. Already you know the quarter-final game is going to give us 4 games. 4 games in the yes, 2 games be I see a body can sanya. It become 1 6 games. 3 china. We want quality for the competition, not necessarily the quantity of it. It is a players that hold on junior team for any babu on the run as a park near Basane, a book game in Filia, as so fast one day.
Minuzebia will be on my say the pitch and on Casa condition.
See, as we so to talk. Your park is soon and so toss on our tab, baby. This is the form the baby boss one near to Sunny Bia.
The last time you come some renovate, so more pitch in
your so tough as still tab, baby. Pitch is so tired as so tab, baby, or park so. It is you're not careful with it. Na ya my pressure back games in so baby. We might not get the quality we want from the competition. Right? The MTN FA Cup has set a standard being Ghana here. And what's it me follow that trend? Now see I take a kakra.
Rana make catch was not say cat time. Make idea Koroko Krane has ko bono tamale.
Ko bono tamale no.
Na FA Cup no na confident lubet me aka say as in Premier League no cry FA Cup no.
In terms of organization.
Yeah.
Branding. Bibia na so mo cry pitch panels I used to cry digital. During MTN FA Cup finals I able. Share the approach to the games. Share tickets. Share the attitude towards even gate kwampansa na de car be wura mu no. I be ma o car pass. San your money nyina different. So a competition where ni munyam. Na ni munyam ni nyina stand towards the quality of games we enjoy in the MTN FA Cup. Na MTN FA Cup ama ye bechem ni Oko United Philly Cape Coast Sports Stadium. It is not a competition we should underrate. Abed ne go tete mo ko bo go si edu me bi kwa na Super Sports mo kra na etwa. So let's give it a touch of the quality we've always wanted. Sadi we kay semi-final and kay sadi we fancy ka problem nim. Because semi-final the A2 games. It is a semi-final near 2 games na ubo 2 games and ubo 1 game before that ka pressure and say day. And must buy 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow. Fancy pitch na ye nimo if we don't trust it. Nah, the last game ebe enjoy the games ebe enjoy. Ni ntimi anya said there was yetimi nya the frame. Eti empeni for ni hwe ni din. Number 2, I think say the most important project I mean who ket. The regime of GFA president in the pie catch them young. Yeah. The referee, you know. Yeah. They will have the opportunity say omubedi game no Baba Sports Stadium in the MTN FA Cup quarter final.
Yeah. I'm say almost 2 years and them say one young guy could di game be an in a bona basono.
Yahu akoda wakodi Milo games final. Yahu enkodani be a division 2, division 3. Or Moody Sedge games. Now no many Mike Krako division 3 game no a match commissioner.
Wow.
Akoda no di Milo games final.
Wow. No so sambo born na. The last 2 years ni na.
Onunia Sports was at mine.
Oh, okay.
It o share this project na untimi piloting and untimi enjoy away from it apart from some of these moments. Hwe, the eti America say who to akura for now to money for ne say. Enkoda no amba be di game no. Empanifo amodi omochi no support them. Treat them well. Encourage them. Because her match beat is a bit Chelsea, it is not an easy game. Her match beat is a kotoko. And through democracy. There are certain games that put the highlight on you.
Africa,
no disrespect to Atram Divisa. No disrespect to Park Academy. No disrespect to the other teams. But there are person so mechanic say there are certain games within the quarterfinal a bit also. It could literally open you up to even from division 3 games near pursue straight about division 1. It is in Penifona Mudi Nkulana momento bimuno. Meaning say most of them are famous godfathers. Our momento Nkulano. The opportunity na be so the Nkulana bedroom pempesu be say if nyansa hu hia. Say be book mu nyansa ni rules ni di referee meti ase. But fie nyansa e yade yan first canto. Ontimi first canto fie nyansa. Tine ma mene ne papa mo ne nana mo no ye call mo o mutu e for so ye ma so ye dey. What experience will teach you no? There are a lot of things nothing it won't mean to. It madaroma mo ankola ne maye. We don't want see bebo FA Cup na wie. Na mo betena beka ye be discuss decision we na we say ko say. Meaning say human errors are ho. We know genuinely said there are human errors which we can actually protect this case from. But a foot ni be a bit me abom. Na players no so amoko si akan no. Mo hwe ankoda no na ma ankoda na ankodina wa ankototo ano and di na tem antoto nsa anya the office ope. Ebimu mo hwe onya hu so ya akola na anti starting game na you come and intimidate him.
I say no show card. O ma card so.
Na ba no go be free.
Ah na say one.
Then you come and intimidate. Na ototo nsa na ba munyai sade no. Yeah. Mama discipline enya adwuma. And let's enjoy the FA Cup quarter-final games near Hontoye. My last story na me fancy games in there. You be so detailed after Monday. I'll come and discuss a lot of things within it. Me say be chemni break me a tough game, but more concerned with under 17. You know, I've seen people have raised issues about the MRI issues now. From you know, I hear certain statements around. Hey, I've been there for 2 days. Mike has been there for 2 days. They are also screening no mu yeni nyina no. We know what happens.
Yes, and yes, obi na akwakotina obeka kire.
Onye obi na akwakotina obeka kire me. We've been there. Minim player. The media phobia no oba. Many mic na kwai. Ye me anu pe.
No media, no other media person.
No, obi anu.
Okay.
So we are not talking about assumptions here. Many mic come eba bedini nene. It's not about assumptions. Facts is not about assumptions. Obia or didn't player ba Hobia from Park Academy to a squad Deportivo to akola no yɛ justify including Kotoko Academy players too.
Yes, you select two.
Now we old player change from Manzo. Sanko betime decide say Kotoko Academy players too no. E ho na me boy so me so metime ayama money say man kula no kono mu hia me pram. He? O check Kotoko Academy now. One of their best players this season Lawson. Lawson don no bokuma sa Sante Kotoko no. Fancy oya akoda ni di no kura teni kuro mu adada keni kwansa ka justify kuro ye bi. Lawson ne ba honom it was a Wednesday or Thursday. Oba ye no. Na nkomodi die ne na mo say no na justify na Frimpong man so si da bi. Ade chi amoma Lawson in dress no megina park no so no be justify chire die nti abo no ni me ye dey. Ebo. Ye be fa na ye be fa na ye fa no so anye dey. Lawson be boy. O kai kudus no wo case no. What did they wo kroma na kudus na Frimpong man so si kudus nti den.
Technical eye.
But justify. Branebeye. So every single coach wo kromo ase odi ni player ba bia no player no ye mane bobo no justify e
nti say Lawson no kudus no I am to say bia ye fan so mo ball no mo deserve a chance no so mo mienu ye dia ene wo kwa bota de
me say example ba ko so nka wo ba ko bi bo obo like Kingston under 17 ni bi eto ai Theophilus Nabil Theophilus Nabil ba justify
Nani ba no so justify say media ma ba o ba be che ye fa nko say
Theophilus Nabil that team no so ba ye justify
bandala idea wa bandala
ba Frimpong man so ba ye justify
it's about names
so the notion about Anna Frimpong man so the Jenna Frimpong man so I was there.
Now for me what's the issue?
Mike, I've been on the commentaries around Frimpong man so under 17 no after say the interview came out about no MRI no so there
so be won't the whole
and then na Krampo say Mike me no Krampo call trading grounds no there were certain conversations about we need to educate the public
so this
and
is
stop being as a they're assuming things that are not even there.
The TN say MRI no so wo here for one player ne boy dey pa now even in Kumasi alone Kodoko players about ye mienu overall players or Musquini no ebro 500 so even if I say oh yeah MRI no cry na ne boy 1,500 multiply that by 500 nim say make what you say and I was selecting kwada ni we are when you the final process oh there will be another screening process enti when you 20 Ashanti region okonya 10 ewo western Bono any halfo or you what 3 different zones. The advance when you 15 a frame. Northern region when you say okay kabom when you be 50 players so okay so you be MRI fancy nebo a thing. Nebo na thing and we can't afford such. So anka the best thing and kebe say what we do play bano. Oba no kitane MRI a scan result. Minim say make what you see say Crusader and ordinary player ba. Why an MRI scan results in the kita no de benti selecting na unim dada baby ojina as regards the MRI. Say you na ya begia tum sa se Ghana for a. Minya sure say nki ebenya issues. Ana player no wa wo manage no ana wo ball club no oya wo asset that be no say benia wo the player ni na bedi enye national under 17 team and now coach na bedi national team no among ton players they only give you a platform men ka me ma dream ni mensusu mu die kebe ya I think the FA should add it as part of the criteria say akode bi a wo ba for justify your inclusion no was anka wo de wo MRI ka ho ba
certified
yes ntiano no enkofa we team waka me bia ma nti right from the first phase of the screening exercise ye nimo bia MRI di ogina ento koye test na wabofra no on qualify nya afei na obegina okura twatro and when there were several anomalies I can speak to only 2 days for Ashanti region I don't know for the other regions ebi kra no minimum age
And Kwadane buy.
I'm telling you for a fact.
You be so how many years?
You be in the date of birth.
So it means
they had to consult. Bakwa mi meni tiano. Ne papa na de ne buy. He's a good footballer. But no miti. Ne papa sanso de ne koi. So there are two way processes or more here. One, your date of birth as to whether it corresponds with sad date or more penal. And then two, and the MRI scans results in the bar can cater for a lot of stuff. But Ghana, Hano, one thing I've come to appreciate and say, and Pempino, Yene, the way city, no, Yesubaini nye kakra. Akai bebre. Yedin komo ye we no, obi wa wanko hobi. Onim de ekoso, but bibi dani trimu dada.
No better.
And they done it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, no, and no one not the better reference. I think, say, oftentimes, here, especially for the media, and I see a dear who said you made the ABC, ne be ni ami who send in your Messi koso. Fepa Manson, may I sure so ne camarata a Juma pen, and Asoka Deportivo. But send ye treaty camarade any the players or the buy no. Send ye treaty will be a nim no.
Send your friends and
Omo meho. Coaches make us a dianka nanim ti onu din komo kakra. Vision FC coach na Najiman. Ba omo maka no. Omo hwe wani mpo.
I done a video na yi somewhere last year of them oboase de bi na number be sa to send no more pay and send age categories.
Yeah.
Onipa na part enya cha opa o. Me say under 17.
Me say dear me hu e wa Ashanti region no. The only thing a bit dining was what he spoke of. Say players and call back carefully because it's a thorough process. So carefully players and call back selected no. Not sure one say ebia na MRI na ko disqualified do na affected the why any na. And they say why here no we need the best 50 across the nation. No back when you say MRI not disqualified 35. Just when you are legitimate 15 pair. Na said you koyi na akoye nkombesie. Enu nti na nka memedi nsusu ye ba. Say anka wo ba justify na. Come with your MRI scan result. And you're old and you're older than there 2 months and not 3 months. Once America or nay other embassies will file for way now. Yes, so passport picture and not older than 6 months. Into way no or test results no older than 2 months now the aba. Canoba bois et Messi nyoma bebre ametimia
boarding. A lot of these guys in Subia also one yamra and subedding. Unse obi wa born on imbopa but if you are free muno emunye
a very good point.
Nti no edu ba bia no so we should look at that side.
No no mo jane sa say is omon ka so bia famra anka me so see no in ideal situation anka sa na kenye
media ya wo de bra na enye quick
o ka so betumi a obi abeka so
ntumi see bi so e be say o mo amode mo mara buy na ye hwa o de no be kontama dan de ba be ya ma because I say Obana wo mara
yeah and I see your point and yes soon make you way very clear. Me pacho MRI no it does not determine the age. Say MRI no disqualify akadebia and just on D 17 and now with Diablo 17 and your bone density
magnetic
and you send your dompenumu drone is and to be owa
otoyo bonkati o
and to be owa na nimfie no form but ni dompeno emu adene
ti machine kro ho ana
exactly so oftentimes I want to say you say MRI not disqualify could be yes the age ne bro so enti na yesa
machine dwane
because FIFA ne CAF na nkasa no they don't even know yet the authentic age detector tino mo the MRI na but to help but it is not to tell the exact age say bia me metie metimi akona machine na hweme I say oh ohwe me se ne me bones ne me nkasa ne mutie na me qualify.
We say metimi akobo se mara be ka che
oh ba dey be disqualify
masa
I bet disqualify I bet disqualify fancy I no can who be na ye way but you see enra mo de fifi taki ne response to Otuado's comment about Andre Ayew eba betuja. I think say maybe a lot of things have not been explained well. Shasharak bebuamia. So call Ketokraku Facebook page. Ket ES Okraku. Ket ES Okraku. Facebook. I'm trying to see if I can also copy the picture. Then I will share with him. Na Yehusen Enyoma and Swesi Eko. There were visitations between the FA president Stephen Appiah and also involving the Black Stars coach Otuado. Omoko Sasra players be brand new Omopra. I think that the FA president has taken time to post series of side engagement. The pictures not to talk. Yep. Obia Oko Hobia, the Otuado Koye. Anyway, the pictures ni na but this is Lawrence Ejekum. Francis Abu no Otuado Jina Hon. I'm trying to copy the pictures and send to Shadrach. So now bet me ako Facebook or bet me a copy. Emu ba kon. Ana me pesi ye di hon komo. And that is that of way Andre Ayew.
Shako Facebook I Ket ES Okraku. So as we are posting one after the other.
But they are to it is to communicate something which I don't know. Meaning the hidden intention behind it. But me copy the Ayew dieno. Eddie ascended Shadrach into so sha. Obehu say we na babetom, then he will get it. Na yadi hon komodi achim. Then so wo fitaki and so response na. Obeka in the aftermath of Otuado way na. Unfair no so fanto so near who
the lady and quite a ket and Casaka on Stephen Appiah.
Yep, Otuado ne koi. Good, ended that so no. Good. Now on me Fitaki's Facebook post. So ko Fitaki's wa obehu. Sarah Fachame. I should have informed you earlier, but I was studio here na. But anyway, no, I say any home come. And it's when you know the two sides when Yaswa, I will try and then screenshot it for him. Sporty, serialize and when you're my baby in the Kikaboma, your dear way. So I have it, I am screenshotting it for you. Now you who send your besiako. Now, Fifi Taki post no or target the da you nema me Maha Kaudi. It became like a family thing in terms of a moment responding and enkomo did fan. What Fifi Taki said in essence, say me kindly I shall like the better so NCBA or say Coach Otuado's comments on Andre Ayew are shocking and disappointing. On numerous occasions, the same coach has said one of the key criteria for selection into the national team is active club participation. How can Ayew, Ghana's most capped player, a 3-time World Cup veteran, and a proven leader, be deemed unworthy even when playing well at his club in the French league? Ayew's legacy and commitment to the Black Stars are undeniable. His experience, leadership, and track record in major tournaments speaks volumes. It is baffling that a coach who failed to qualify Ghana for this year's Africa Cup of Nations will so casually dismiss the contributions of a player who has consistently delivered for his club and is playing week in, week out at his club. Such remarks are not only disrespectful to Ayew, but also undermine his sacrifices and the pride he has brought to Ghana football. Coach Ado's comments are unprofessional and unbecoming of someone in his position. Where Fifi Taki, spokesperson for the Ayew family now.
I say, Coach, I went to me and for young qualify for AFCON.
Yeah. And now also kasa dia emfasobia maso. Good, me that say. Fifi Taki kasama Ayew family no.
Yes.
Same me kasama a fancy family ya. So one share me mean to me medin komono.
Samu.
Anameboa. Debi mean to me 50 prekope me come adwen to represent the view or the stance of the family.
Okay.
We know or kasadi ama Andre Ayew. The belief some of us will make out of it and saying Andre Ayew has authorized whatever he put out there. True or false? Anna, has a spokesperson ever spoke or ever spoken without the authorization of the body he represents? GMPC spokesperson bet me abakasa. Wabra GMPC man a kwine.
It is a winner update craft from
exactly the point.
And I was in the interview. What's nothing or what?
To Facebook.
To be internet mammy, Anna BBC Kwan, the minister as a writer big classy bar. Maybe a medical cinema on my session. Oh, you're okay. and send be a ma go ahead I aposti baba bia me be say me ye bia enwoma nya clear na nke bia betimi agya no ho no ye say de hwemu am man go ahead on posti
or maybe they gave his consent
and maybe ono no use
you can post something my point is this.
Mike come ask him
Andre Ayew, nobody would deny the commitment level to the national team.
Fantastic.
But I know me better na di Kevin De Bruyne home come. Bibia wa shasi bia wona. Let's be truthful to ourselves. In having this conversation, the last 2 major tournaments ayako, let's assess the importance or the significant impact Andre Ayew had on the teams. World Cup 2022. Even in the game against Uruguay, any day I am not singling him out for blame. So on Wontumi World Cup yanko yenim. Again in the AFCON. Ye bedia tumua ye hu say Andre Ayew ne how impactful he was in the national team colours no eswate. Now it is a similar story. Team behind us will build it for the future. You have your short-term, medium-term, and long-term objectives. Coach behind the kwanya ofaso ye ni nyuma. Intebi onu be feel say enimeni ya no on here Andre Ayew, although he's still playing. But on here when the team nim because will be a obetima ye dwumadi no. Obi so one time betimi ay argument say debi Andre Ayew experience ni here our dressing room. Because so wa obetimi aboa kra ne nkode ya kasa na ase na ye betina the experience on command na meboa the enti e de jan ene apia bebata team no to speak to the playing body and all these things. So you can make solid cases for why Andre should be in the team and why Andre should not be in the team. But the ebako ko wi an say the too many kitano e coach na ye Otuado. He decides what will help his plan. Without Andre, he has won with a perfect record in the World Cup qualifiers. Again, without Andre, he endured a dismal record in the AFCON qualification process. In 50-50. Owomua, ebekoye anenkoye. We can't pinpoint.
Okay.
Just as it was in the AFCON in way, but I think it is all about the approach. It is all about the approach. Otuado na kase only the day din komo, which he said this previously prior to the AFCON qualifiers. No. 2, yehu pictures of Kurt, Stephen Appiah, and Andre Ayew. Minimum komo mwedi. So it means that there have been series of conversations with Andre Ayew about the Black Stars participation. True or false? What was Dede's response during those visitations? And komo bena Dede e katre Otuado. And komo bena Dede e dide tre Kurt and Stephen Appiah. Sound komo no ene de fifi takini boy bra na. Means that they make an out here. Dede shia Kurt we shia Stephen Appiah. Dede shia Otuado. And sembe no katre omo. Are these the same words as the ones the fifi taki air communicating na? And what was the response? I think say this is a careful matter. We need to approach it in a careful manner. Sorry. Say, one, we can't treat the day with disrespect. So, also, the day, and can also not treat the coach with disrespect. Yeah. A mutual respect. So, to some extent, I find some of the words used by Fifi Taki in bad taste.
Ebina one be coach to be chose say coach now went me anfa
young co-worker meaning Otuado no kra no ne ho nsum he doesn't deserve to take a decision. Oh yes na and then a dey bufuo ni dede na course for public number because I want to believe say the Kurt and Stephen Appiah be di ho nkomo no emu adu esen just a Facebook post. So if Dede was not truly pleased with some of these things, he should come out.
Because players, one of me say be a players no play their hearts out. Dede Wontumi rule out.
Say Adia Wontumi njim free the day same. Even including the other level. The commitment and the hard work. Na say cry impom ni mu ago kakra no. You can still see say or force name um tire no the tire name mu ayeden. So he's a top professional. But again, a coach no and a dear or person ye. one China you can make a case for and then a case against which will be solid. But kasa mu no any kita hodie mu no there
will be a conversation between Fifi Taki ne the Ayew family
and I'm just a line there
and I'm say Fifi Taki there no otro no mahaka die hwan ya
suppose mommy no
ana me boa de ma me your friend is saying enya ma good. Already comments after Fifi Taki post now. You will find other Kaudi names. Because that fache me me do umre ne kakra. Mesrewa fache me. So uko Fifi Taki post now. You will find say response in him no. There are other Kaudi names. Enti family need the omuho gym in terms of the comments. You carefully study it. 108 comments after your oye, you know, and you will see. Say obi betro na enkontia the Fifi Taki kana. There was one particular Kaudi name. I'll be respond there. I'll try and get it. But Hala Kaudi. Anyway, Hala Kaudi ni shenenim oni de mame ni nuana no. Say I still the way to swa onye. O de obetimi akọ no akoye we. Any Hala Kaudi. You will clearly see any share pictures na was no. So
Brem.
Yes, Fancy, the issue is your national team, the baby I believe that we need to move forward as a nation. And the Ayew, me personally, I believe say his time with the national team, it should be over. That one, and then I maybe can't because the day any time. And when the day Airbano, there were senior players amongst on the do baby, they were not happy. Said the debeji omo position and tie push you omo out. I'm sure say like Kenson say no friend na ono so edaso di ya say 2010. He even joined the negotiations for bonus near the adina and he was part of the delegation that place you omo. No, 2010 was not about 2010 yes 2010 he was dropped. Some no senior man omo di common near the adina no. But the coach at the time felt say corner or corner. So the lie in Sule na kotena bencha on to control players no obenya problems because lie in Sule ti bench on man problems and no to mean guarantees on best at it entinanye Sule kotena bench lie entinefie. From that time the national team he's been consistent in terms of the commitment ni bibia. The only time you afraid they were out or you train who was AFCON 2013 and no yes young Fred Jordan and I would delay ya na kusi apia drop in no. But from that time anytime be a be afraid the biano he shows up and oba or burn heart out but no krenye since the day became our captain and now you enjoy a worst spell as a nation in terms of tournaments ayako in recent times. Oh, so from 2006 a day back 2006 in free more group stage or AFCON last time at the free mono 2008 about semi-final 2010 about final 2012 about semi 2013 about semi-final 2015 about final 2017 about semi-final 2019 only about kwa kwesi apiaje captain ma de no Tunisia no on share your AFCON dawo Tunisia ye free more round of 16 ye call AFCON 2021 group stage Comoros share ma free 2022 World Cup and also so group stage NSF free. The last AFCON group stage until since the day became our captain. What has been the improvement in terms of your performance as a nation, your tournament. Not to talk of be an individual performance because individual performance they say enkoye. And so the age ni be a team na ba beduna yentia say pese anima. Let's give the young ones their chance to play.
Individual performance now okas enkoye ni da be there.
Oh no, I'm talking about recent performances. There be. He's a legend. We are born, but the Adru no. We need to move on as a nation. Say Edu baby ma Joachim Low. On one the German kwaje worker, but Edu baby worker say players the same Mesut Ozil, Matt Hummels mo, Thomas Muller. Also a retire from the national team. Jerome mo. Also on floor mo biem. Enti ehona say ya duru no edu ba bia so person your transition you need to be ruthless dey na ebinom ho beka
very difficult
enti de on tia say ba bia waduru no okwani bia ya adwuma a opon
eno na Mike nso che say enkomo na course between Stephen Apia, Keto Kreku, the FA president, and the player in question also no. Yen nyina enim nkomo kro mu di.
Of course.
And yen nim asem nso bia dede e ka kire won mo. Ebi kra na betime ba so afi why ready betime afro. Ebi kro da bi president mama time kakra. Ananse bia ja ye pese e bowi ye nti ye mfro ebi o nkama ti e betime aya ha.
But fancy o share the posture na ono de onya obebo. Mo na mo mfrɛ me. So tie there. Oh, it's only the 50 taki can there. Ono there, mo frame amebo. Maybe my
picture now win are.
No, it's not about the picture. 50 taki a message.
I came one and say be a 50. Me about I had it this re. But the ambassador me try say postures ma work with regards to post na be a 50 year no. And I'm say all the council no commanders on him kasa line nkema
and I say whether
who's coach now went me and fair qualify AFCON no kema
and coach now went me and fair qualify AFCON the day so why year from group stage AFCON yeah enti edu ba bia they need to understand say wo mre na aba atwam ebinom edu mre wo say ugya ho ma ebinom so ba betoa so and anyama na ekoso no the sometimes the players no edu bia they always want us to force them into retirement. No maka say o minor are ungrateful to them, but sometimes edu bia one kasa wo hwe bia wa ho ode akwakodu na gracefully no aka say oh bia do you there e wo say me DC but obetra say ma say performance no enkoyie na ya forcing it out then they always say oh edu wa kwan ye fa so yi players ni free mu ene sa anema no one kasa after African Cup of Nations fiasco you know say nka dede na honorably obaye na okase Ghana for baby a ya ba bedru no emra so wo say ye koyanim na munya isa anema we du baby a you want us to force you na say as obi na empema sem obi na ye ebasa na it doesn't help
no me that's yare Dr. Amuzu ebedi nkomo doctor ba no na fe ya bana ya ba bedi nkomo na ya hwe wo kwa